Hey guys, how we going? Okay, this is some very interesting news right now. Thank you MJ for pointing it out to me. I'm pretty sure it was MJ. Buzz smash riddle. Aussie cops issue cryptic update on Prince Andrew's accuser Virginia Giuffre crash after she was left with days to live, or so she said. Okay. Okay, this is very sus, and I'm just trying to digest this information. Apparently, there was a bus crash in Australia, in Western Australia, and Virginia Giuffre said she only had 4 days to live because of kidney failure, renal failure. Okay, and this is the picture she put up. Okay? It's a pretty bad picture, actually, like really fuzzy, you know? Unless it's my computer. Okay. Cops in Australia have issued a puzzling update after Virginia Giuffre claims she had just 4 days to live after a horror bus crash. The mum of 3, 41, said she was left suffering kidney failure after the crash in near Gabby, some 20 kilometres north of Perth, last Monday. Okay, so she should be passing away any day now, unfortunately. Okay, this is pictures of her. The timeline, okay, in 2000, Virginia meets sex trafficker and Brit socialite Ghislaine Maxwell and is introduced to Jeffrey Epstein. In 2001, aged 17, Virginia claims Prince Andrew sexually abused her at Maxwell's home in London. Virginia escapes after Epstein loses interest in her in 2003. 2015, Virginia files defamation case against Maxwell and case is settled for an undisclosed sum. Epstein dies in jail in August 19th ahead of trial on sex trafficking charges after release of court documents. Epstein didn't kill himself. November 2019, Andrew claims he has no recollection of meeting Virginia in a Newsnight interview. August 2021, Virginia files civil lawsuit against Andrew accusing him of SA. February 22, Andrew and Virginia agree to out-of-court settlement for undisclosed sum. June 2022, Ghislaine Maxwell jailed for 20 years for sex trafficking crimes, and 2025, Virginia claims she has days to live after a bus crash. The police have now confirmed it was only logged as a minor traffic crash incident report, revealing no injuries were ever reported. Apparently the bus was doing 110 kilometres per hour and she was slowing down to turn a corner. Okay, let me tell you something in Australia, about Australia. The only place you can do 110 kilometres an hour is on the freeway, and they have off-ramp lanes. You don't turn from those streets, okay? Those roads, sorry. You can't. The only way is an off-ramp, okay? So there's one thing, and that's the only place you're allowed to do 110 kilometres as far as I know. Okay, anyway. The police have now confirmed it was only logged as a minor traffic crash incident report, revealing no injuries were ever reported. No charges were brought against either driver, and the incident wasn't reported to cops until the following day by the bus driver. Damage to the vehicle Giuffre was travelling in is believed to be around $2,000 worth of damage. That's a little crash. A 41-year-old woman, confirmed by cops as the passenger in the car, was involved in the crash, which happened just after 3 p.m. on March 24. Virginia Giuffre, who was sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and famously accused Prince Andrew of abusing her when she was 17. Mind you, I think in England, I know in Australia, 17 is a legal age. Posted a bruised selfie from a hospital bed on Instagram. The survivor told her followers she's being transferred to a specialist hospital for treatment. They've given me 4 days to live. They don't normally do that. Transferring me to a specialist hospital in urology, she wrote. I think it's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driving 110 kilometres an hour, as we were slowing down for a turn, that doesn't happen in Australia. The only place you can do 110 kilometres an hour, as I said, is a freeway, and they have off-ramps. You don't turn off them. That no matter what your car is made of, it might as well be a tin can. I'm ready to go, just not until I see my babies one last time. Her spokesperson said Virginia has been in a serious accident and is receiving medical care in the hospital. She greatly appreciates the support and well wishes people are sending. Brad Edwards, her former lawyer in the US, called it a very bad situation, adding, "We're hoping for better news in the coming days and that he hoped Miss Giuffre would pull through with good medical care." Virginia recently separated from her husband, Robert, a martial arts instructor, after 22 years of marriage. The mum has said she's now estranged from her 3 teenage children. Okay, in the wake of her hospital plea, Prince Andrew's ex-lady, Victoria Harvey, sparked fury with a cruel taunt on Instagram, writing, "If Virginia Giuffre really does have days to live, then a complete confession is needed. I don't believe it, though. The FBI are on her right now and arrest warrants are coming. She's conveniently dying to evade jail." Now, I'm not on Prince Andrew or Epstein's side at all in this, but I'm very suspect. And wasn't Virginia Giuffre also trafficking her friends and like other teenage girls? I'm just pointing out the facts, okay? I don't trust any of this. I think it's time that Robert Giuffre, who has custody of their teenage children, to speak. Harvey went further, accusing Virginia of the fake photo on her con jobs, referencing the infamous image with Duke of York and Ghislaine Maxwell in the background, which Maxwell previously claimed was fake. Well, I believe it could be true. Like, I believe that first photo is true, but I don't know about this. Okay, Virginia sued Prince Andrew in 2021, claiming she was trafficked and forced to have sex with the Duke on 3 occasions when she was a teen. The royal has always denied the allegations, but settled out of court in 2022, reportedly paying millions to avoid a humiliating trial. Despite saying he severed ties with Epstein in 2010, emails released earlier this year show Andrew contacted him in 2011, telling the pedo financer, "Keep in touch and we'll play some more soon." Epstein didn't kill himself in jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for her role in the abuse. Who is Virginia Giuffre? Virginia Roberts, now Virginia Giuffre, 41, is an American-Australian campaigner and prominent victim of the sex trafficking ring of Jeffrey Epstein. She's made claims against Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, as well as Brit socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's ex-lover. Giuffre alleged in court documents that she was procured by Maxwell, 63, the daughter of a disgraced tycoon Robert Maxwell, as a teenage sex slave for Epstein. She released a manuscript just hours before his death, which added more than 2,000 documents of a lawsuit pending against the former financier and his pals. The legal documents were released in a defamation case involving Giuffre, who has claimed in court documents that Prince Andrew slept with her 3 times. In 2019, Virginia Roberts has claimed that she had sex with Prince Andrew in a toilet when she was 17 after a night where he'd allegedly been plying her with vodka in a posh London club. On February 15th, 2022, it was announced that Prince Andrew settled the lawsuit, sparing him a humiliating court battle. Okay, now let's go on to X and see what people are saying about this. Okay, Jennifer here says, "I hate to even think this way, but I believe it when I see it. Virginia Giuffre seems more like a scam artist and accomplice to Ghislaine than a victim. She's been caught lying multiple times and accused by Epstein victims of helping to facilitate their abuse," which is what I was saying. I do believe she was also a trafficker. Okay? This says, lots of people weighing in on the Virginia Giuffre thing, saying she's scamming. Let's close it back up so I can read this. "So as an ICU nurse, her claims are fishy. No one says you have 4 days left to live. If she has kidney failure, will they do dialysis, which works as a kidney? She's not even in ICU, as she's wearing a tank top and not monitored with EKG wires, so she can't be that sick." Someone else said, "I've been thinking about Virginia Giuffre and I think this is definitely a scam. I'm sure that if she actually was dying, she wouldn't still have pearl earrings and a necklace on. They would have been removed. I also think that she actually looks better now that she's dying than she does when she's seen on the street. Looks like a staged photo to me. Lady Victoria Harvey, this is the ex of the prince, I believe, saying that she needs to speak up and confess. If Virginia Giuffre really does have days to live, then a complete confession is needed. I don't believe it, though. The FBI are on her right now and arrest warrants are incoming. Was she about to be arrested? Is she one of the ones that is taking herself out? She's conveniently dying to evade jail. Lisa Capiello said, we need a little more information. Where did this happen? What kind of bus? Were there any passengers on the bus? Apparently it was full of school kids. And actually, buses that are full of school kids are not permitted to go more than 50 kilometres an hour, as far as I know. Oh, they might be allowed to do 60 in the 60. Well, I don't know. Why was the bus on a freeway? Can someone in Western Australia please let me know if your laws are different than the rest of Australia? We don't have 110 kilometre roads unless they're like freeways or highways. Shadow of Ezra has said, Jeffrey Epstein, sex trafficking survivor and key witness Virginia Giuffre, has made a heartbreaking revelation. She believes she has only 4 days to live. Allegedly struck by a bus, she now requires urgent care from specialists in the hospital. Despite her condition, Virginia says she's ready to go but desperately wants to see her children one last time. In what feels like a final farewell, she thanked her followers for being a great part of her life. She was famously photographed with Prince Andrew at age 17. There she is there, allegedly. And normally when you've got this amount of bruising, like there is normally a lot of swelling. Okay? I'm just going to show you a very quick picture of what this might look like. Okay, a lot of swelling. A lot of bruising, a lot of swelling, okay? Just letting you know, that's what it looks like. Lumpy face, okay? Especially if you've got bruises like that over your face. And if the damage was only $2,000, I honestly can't see this much damage, to be honest. Sorry, but that's how I feel and what I think. And I have to say what I feel and think because that's all I've got. Little Ears, replying to Nick Sordor, said, not sure what to think about Virginia Giuffre, stating she only has 4 days left to live as a retired RN. Just how did the hospital figure out she has exactly 4 days? If she's in renal failure, then why not kidney dialysis unless both kidneys have been crushed completely? The news report said Virginia G lives in Australia, which is true. It also says a school bus hit her vehicle going 60 miles per hour. No details regarding details of the accident. There aren't any. And it was considered a minor accident and everyone walked away from the crash. Article also states she recently separated from her husband and that her father had no knowledge of the accident until the news. He had offered his prayers and help. Wish her the best and to heal quickly. More to this story and just when do we get to see the Epstein list, which is what a lot of us are asking for. Oh dear, I went too far back. Okay. Okay, we've done that one. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. That's the one I just read. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein, accuser Virginia Giuffre, says she has just days left to live after getting hit by a school bus. In school times, they normally don't go down freeways. MJ Truth Ultra said Epstein survivor Virginia Giuffre posted horrific news on her Instagram account that she was involved in a horrific car accident and doctors gave her only 4 days to live. Thoughts about this? I have several, but we'll defer for now. I have many as well. And this is what she wrote on Instagram. She was well enough to write this. This year has been the worst start to a new year, but I won't bore anyone with the details. But I think it's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driving 110 kilometres as we were slowing for a turn, that no matter what your car is made of, it might as well be a tin can. And if she is on a 110 kilometre road, a road that you are allowed to do 110 kilometres, other than a freeway or highway, you normally have turning lanes, okay, to stop this kind of thing from happening. Okay, yep, and might as well be a tin can. I've got into kidney renal failure. They're giving me 4 days to live, transferring me to a specialist hospital in neurology. I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to go, just not until I see my babies one last time. But you know what they say about wishes? Shit in one hand and wish in the other, and I guarantee it's going to be shit at the end of the day. Thank you all for being the wonderful people of the world and for being a great part of my life. God bless all, Virginia. Okay, so let's keep going. The rubber duck said, breaking. Why are no influencers or anons reporting on this? Well, I'm trying. Virginia Roberts Giuffre was in a serious traffic accident yesterday in Australia. She was travelling slowly in traffic when a school bus travelling at 70 miles per hour rear-ended her. Virginia reported from her Instagram account yesterday that she'd fallen into kidney renal failure and have given her 4 days to live as she was transferred to a specialist hospital in neurology. Now, if she is really injured and this really did happen, then, no, I hope she recovers, But I think this is something else. And our buses don't look like this. Our school buses, okay? But anyway, Miss Universe said in 2020, lawyer Gloria Allred sent a school bus driven back and forth in front of Buckingham Palace with Prince Andrew's pic and a banner. If you see this man, please ask him to call the FBI. Years later, his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, gets struck by a school bus on a Sunday. What the actual fork? Okay. 5 years ago, an American school bus was driven outside the palace to urge Andrew to contact the FBI. Okay. Very interesting this is getting. Champagne Joshi said, sad news, Virginia Giuffre, who was the victim. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, I want to know how they know she's got exactly 4 days to live. Okay, I want to know. Okay. Concerned citizens said, meanwhile, in Britain, a toddler 2 to 4 years old was suspended from a nursery after being accused of being transphobic. All staff and pupils should feel safe. The UK is totally cooked. How can a 2 to 4 year old be transphobic? You have got to be kidding. Who reported the child? Who said they weren't allowed back? What's going on? This is insane. They're truthful. Look, that's all, 2 to 4 year olds, they're very truthful. I'll tell you that right now. I have a lot of experience with 2 to 4 year olds, my granddaughter being one of them, and my grandson's not long ago going through it. Not only do I have my own kids 20, 30 years ago, but, it doesn't change. Okay, they're very truthful. So I don't know what's happened here, but how can a 2 to 4 year old be transphobic? Get a grip. Okay. Shadow of Ezra said Elon Musk just called for the permanent end of the Federal Reserve, questioning why so many people work there when no one really knows what they do. He also wants a live stream of the gold at Fort Knox to ensure it's still there. As Musk puts it, the gold belongs to the American people, and it does. Senator Gerard Rennick here in Australia said very interesting meeting last week of over 200 people in Samford Valley about the fire ant program. Okay, we've got fire ants in Australia. To my knowledge, there are no fire ants in the valley, yet the government intends to spray the valley while heavily infested areas of South Brisbane are ignored. Indiscriminately spraying the land is damaging other ant species and insects that compete with the fire ants, making it easier for the fire ants to continue to expand. Over $1 billion has been spent on the fire ant program. I sense some laundering going on here. Since 2001, and in true government fashion, it's failed to stop their spread, because government getting involved never helps anything. I was shocked to hear from people who had reactions from the spraying and ended up in hospital. I accept that fire ants is an issue that needs to be addressed, but it's my view that spraying should be restricted to identified nests only with ingredients that are safe and effective. Indiscriminate spraying over land with no identified nests is a waste of time and resources. And they've done this before for wild cats, wild dogs, and they put all these little baits down and poisoned all the animals, not just the wild cats or wild dogs or whatever they're trying to get rid of. It poisons all of them. Seriously, these people are brain-dead morons. I know I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Catherine Deeves Morgan said, great Australian dream. Yeah, you got to be asleep to believe it. As, what's his name, said, like the great American dream. Horizontal ghettos, baking hot in summer, poorly insulated in winter, and look how close they are to each other. You could reach out your bedroom window and touch the house next door, just about. It's getting worse. Where's your front and backyard? Oh, there's your front yard. Oh, and there's your backyard. Yeah, there's not much of it, is there? Like, your kids can't go out and play ball or anything, you know? Crazy. Billboard Chris said, I'm suing the Australian government in a fight for freedom of speech. So is Elon Musk. We'll be in court all week in Melbourne. I hope to see many of you there, and I hope to have some updates shortly. I should have gone on. I just wanted to mainly get the Virginia Giuffre stuff out. Dr. Simon Godek said the dumbest thing you can do is make your home smart. Do not put smart things in your home. Yes, they're spying on you. That stock chick said my waiter last night was from the Gen Z demographic. When bringing out the card machine to pay, he hinted at a tip. I declined the tip on the machine. Immediately, his face dropped and he said, was everything okay with the service? Does anyone tip in Australia? Not normally. Some people do, the rich ones do, but not normally. When you go out for dinner, you do not have to tip in Australia. But funnily enough, what I think is happening is they're making it happen. And possibly that maybe restaurants aren't paying their staff enough and that they have to rely on tips now. There should be no obligation to tip. Let's not make tipping a common practice in Australia. Exactly. We've never had it before, okay? So I don't know why it's happening now. I had something similar at a cafe. My girlfriend was paying and the FPOS terminal came up with a tip selection screen. Before she could do anything, I reached over and pressed no tip. The guy behind the counter gave me a dirty look. Yeah, we have one of the highest minimum wages in the world. Why is this happening? Well, even when you check out at Coles and Woolworths, sometimes they have well, they did have, the last I looked, where you could tip. Like, not tip, but, you know, give money. Yeah. And even like, is it eBay or something? Or maybe it's Afterpay. One of them, like, you can tip or, like, donate to things. And I'm like, no, thank you. Okay, deport foreign criminals said they lured a 16-year-old girl with learning difficulties to a flat and took turns essaying her for 2 hours. When they were finished, one of them threw acid over her. They left her in a coma in need of plastic surgery and skin grafts. The sentences don't reflect the severity of their crimes, and it says all you need to know about the communities these rapists are from. They refuse to cooperate with police investigation. They're all in on it. You couldn't make this into a horror movie because you'd never get it past the Board of Censors. It's the stuff of nightmares. 3 men have been jailed for raping a 16-year-old girl and an attack with caustic soda was thrown on her. The girl who has learning difficulties was lured into a North London flat and repeatedly raped. Roger McMorris, 18, from Tottenham, North London, was jailed for 9 years for rape and grievous bodily harm. Jason Brew, 19, from Tottenham, was jailed for 6 years, and Hector Muamba, 20, from Walthamstow, was given 8 years for rape and robbery. She told the court that she agreed to meet a man she knew for sex there because she thought it would make her popular. But during a 2-hour ordeal, she was repeatedly raped by a group of men. Before they left McMorris, they threw caustic soda on her. The girl was in a coma following the attack and has been left permanently disfigured. She is undergoing treatment, including surgery and skin grafts. Judge Sean Lyons said the girl's life had been ruined and she would have to live with major physical difficulties. Outside the court, the girl's uncle read a statement on behalf of her family, including her parents, saying the last 12 months have been a very difficult time for us as a family. It feels like no sentence is any justice compared to what the victim has been through. Detective DETCON, is that Detective Constable Alex Newton? The trauma, stress, depression and hopelessness have all been too difficult to bear. He added, we know the sentence imposed on the perpetrators of this hideous crime against our daughter. Whatever and however we feel about it will not bring sufficient justice and healing to our daughter. Detcon Alex Newton said it was the biggest rape case Haringey police had dealt with. A lack of cooperation by the community made it extremely difficult to investigate, she added. It doubled the amount of work to really get to the bottom of it, and I don't think we ever really will, she said. It feels like no sentence is any justice compared to what the victim has been through. Send them home. Deport them. Okay. Now we have interesting stuff on Ian Carroll, the man who has, like, I've shared him a few times on here. Okay, Justice Cometh said, I have to speak briefly on this Ian Carroll story about RFK Jr. First, I want you to remember Ian is no Trump fan. He's trying to appear MAGA and in the middle, but Ian has not been Trump's biggest fan by any means. He's publicly trashed him before. Also, prior to 2024, no one knew who the hell this guy was. He literally came from nowhere on TikTok. Ian Carroll, he did. His socials are eerily quiet before 2024, and that's a red flag for me. So in saying all that, I think he's a division plant, and now he's been activated. Now thinking of all this, the timing of these RFK Jr. revelations are very fishy. Who is RFK Jr. suddenly attacking? Big Soda and Big Pharma. Pushing no coke through Snap. About to outlaw Big Pharma advertising. Making a commission against vaccine injuries. He gutted the CDC and it's now under control now, and much more. So think, direct attacks from outside hasn't phased RFK, have they? So if you were a Big Pharma and Big Soda, how would you attack? Maybe a plant or multiple plants to smear him from within our movement? Think Candace Owens as well, because she was a Democrat, okay, up until recently. Be very, very careful who you follow. Very careful. You must think critically during this next time and see past all the bullshit flying out there. Trump knows exactly about RFK before he appointed him. Don't fool yourself that you know more than POTUS. He has it all, quite literally. I want you to read these deltas for today. It's no coincidence. This was foreseen long ago. The dividers will fail. You are smarter than that. Stay out of the palace intrigue and stay on mission. You are watching the systematic destruction of the old guard. Be patient. Trust POTUS and his decisions in his cabinets. They are made for a reason. Attacks increasing. Context of drops mislabeled and used. Select orgs journalists dropping controversial info as attempt to label as a whole. Screenshotting, then writing articles on drops they themselves wrote. Highlight of corrupt PAC equals deflect by PAC equals point to former members as a method to shield. We're being bombarded for a reason. Look for keywords to be repeated by many controller and coordinated rollout. Fake news in full panic, less than 10. Q. When they can't attack the information provided, they'll attack the messenger. Define deflection, logical thinking, shield count high. Q. Threat to controlled narrative. Other than POTUS, can you name a group more attacked than the board was by the fake news media? Multiple tactics deployed, including framing for crimes. Think bridge, mob boss, etc., etc. Desperation. Reconcile using logic. Think for yourself, dividers will fail. How come I always jump down after that? Okay. US Homeland Security news said update going too far. Rumours that rogue judge is preparing to order the arrest of Donald Trump, and I believe Trump and the team are in the middle of stopping this from happening. Okay, Real AF Patriot said Trump is busy taking out all the foot soldiers for the deep state who, if left alone, are going to start a civil war when the big arrests begin. Maybe that'll help make it make sense for those who can't stop complaining about the lack of big arrests yet. He's worried about our safety. Then we have News Treason Channel 17. I find this interesting timing. Musk is expected to finish in May. Trump's year-long celebration of America commences on Memorial Day 2025. Trump, to ensure not just one day of celebration but an entire year of festivities across the nation, starting on Memorial Day 2025 and continuing through July 4th, 2026. So Doge could finish its operation as soon as the end of May. Okay, and I'm waiting on more on the Billboard Chris and X hearing against our government. Okay, guys, I thought I'd just drop in with this little bit of information. I'm hoping to be back in a couple of days. I'm not sure when, but I'm missing you guys already. Okay, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.